What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje leaked last night. We got some confirmation from multiple sources of Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje being next. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Renato Toileta Viana, during an interview, that he's hearing whispers of Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje and Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van for UFC 322 in MSG. After the news dropped, Topuria's manager hinted at the fight too, writing the following on Instagram. Diles buenas noches, Gaethje. Hashtag and still. Hashtag UFC 322. Diles buenas noches means good night, Justin Gaethje. So it really looks like we are getting this fight. What are your thoughts on everything? Dricus du Plessis called out for shameful performance. Ikram Aliskerov was not impressed with Dricus du Plessis' performance against Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 319. Throughout 24 of the 25 minutes, DDP struggled to stop the relentless onslaught of Chimaev. And the way Aliskerov sees things, the former champion's performance was shameful. During an interview with Islam Babadzanov, he explained, "It's a shame for a champion to perform like that in terms of wrestling. You have to show why you're a champion." As Chimaev continues his victory tour, the newly minted champ was seen on camera unloading a body shot on a guy who absorbed it like it was nothing. While DDP's coach is optimistic that the former champ can get back on top, Dominic Cruz isn't so sure. On the Anakin Florian show, he weighed in on the UFC 319 headliner and DDP's chances of reclaiming the title. He's just never been put on his back that long, I don't think. And you have to have an offense from the bottom in order to get up. If your job, when you get taken down, is just to get up and escape, that's kind of defensive in a way. So you're in the bottom and you're getting held down, you have to have some sort of offensive attack from the bottom. Like, you need to go for a single leg takedown. You need to be able to be off balance to get a double leg, create space, get to a front headlock, and then you have to create some sort of offense from the bottom, some sort of attack, so that the person on top of you stops blanketing you. He couldn't really create that. When you look at the differential in that particular fight, it just looked like two completely different level fighters. Whether DDP's coach's prediction winds up being right, only time will tell. UFC title fight gets leaked for UFC 321. While Tom Aspinall is set to defend his heavyweight title on the UFC 321 card, MMA Scientist is reporting on Weibo that the card could wind up featuring a title fight between Virna Jandiroba and Mackenzie Dern for the vacant strawweight title. Although Weili Zhang is currently listed as the champion on UFC.com, the champion has indicated that she is already preparing for a fight with Valentina Shevchenko. Although nothing is official, the assumption is that she'll follow through on her plans to vacate the title and move up to flyweight in hopes of capturing UFC gold in another division. While speaking in a recent interview, Dana dished on the bout.
But Weili's fight is I have to mention about, because Weili fight at Valentina Shevchenko is everybody want to see. Even Valentina says Weili is a fighter, makes sense. So is this fight already made? How big is this fight means to the women MMA?
Yeah, when you think about Valentina and Weili, they're two of the best female fighters of all time. So it's a great super fight to make. And obviously, I think Weili wants it, Valentina wants it, we want it. So I don't see why it wouldn't happen.
So not already the contract signed? Because Weili says she already on preparation.
Well, ask Weili then. I don't know what to tell you. If Weili says it is, then it is.
Okay.
Given White's comments, it sounds like the UFC 321 card could very well wind up being a championship doubleheader. Khabib talks about the welterweight division ahead of Islam Makhachev versus JDM. Although nothing's been finalized yet, it's only a matter of time before a fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena is made official. Ahead of the fight, Khabib Nurmagomedov feels like there are only a few legitimate contenders who could pose a threat to Islam as welterweight champion. In the welterweight division, I see Shavkat as someone who commands respect and brings real risk. Shavkat, Bilal, Ian Gary, I wouldn't consider him such a serious threat. I don't see Sean Brady as a big threat. Stylistically, he's too convenient for Islam. Islam would outstrike him, and if they grappled, Islam would control him. I don't see Brady as a dangerous opponent. He's a strong, good fighter, but I don't see it. Shavkat, Bilal, and Maddalena. While Shavkat Rakhmonov was next in line for a crack at the title with his win over Ian Gary, the Nomad has dealt with a knee injury as of late, and his wife was also involved in a pretty serious car accident. Although there's been no official word on when he'll be back in action, it sounds like his presence in the division looms as large as ever. UFC updates. Despite this weekend being an off week for the UFC, let's take a look at today's UFC updates, starting with a new addition to the UFC Paris card in September, next month. According to MMA Propaganda, Axel Sola and Rhys McKee will collide at 155, as Sola looks to pick up a big victory in his UFC debut, and McKee looks to build on a win over Daniel Franza back in April. Next up, we have a change to the Daniel Santos versus Ju Sang Yu fight we previously reported on. While the two were initially set to fight on the UFC Perth card, their fight is now being pushed to the UFC 320 card in October. Next up, we got a fight between Gabriel Bonfim and Randy Brown set for UFC Rio on October 11th. Bonfim will look to build on a 3-fight win streak that most recently saw him defeat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, while Brown will look to build on the win over Nicholas Dalby in April. Shifting gears and looking ahead at the month of November, Timmy Kuamba is reportedly set to fight Chang Ho Lee in a bout that will see Kuamba look to build on an April win over Roberto Romero, and Lee look to build on a 2-fight win since joining the UFC. We also have a rematch between Aaron Blanchfield and Tracy Cortez set for the UFC 322 card. After Cortez edged out a split decision in their 2019 fight under the Invicta banner, Blanchfield will be looking to get her revenge while moving one step closer to a crack at the title. In other news, the Walter Walker versus Ryan Spann bout reported this week is apparently not officially signed, according to Marcel Dorf, who retracted his report about the bout, writing, "Just got told that the fight between Walter Walker and Ryan Spann is not a done deal at the moment. There was some miscommunication, unfortunately. Apologies." And last but not least, the UFC is set to return to Salt Lake City for a numbered event in 2026. Although there's been no word on when the event may take place, given that it's a numbered event, expect a title fight in the main event. Bryan Battle reacts to being released by the UFC. While Bryan Battle had been on a tear inside the octagon, repeated weigh-in struggles wound up leading to his release. Following his latest weigh-in blunder prior to UFC 319, Battle spoke with MMA Fighting to discuss the situation. As he explained, even though he knew being cut was a possibility, the situation is still humbling. Definitely knew that it was a possibility. You know what I'm saying? I definitely thought it was something that could happen, and it was justified. It's not something that I'm going to moan about at all, but I'm not going to lie. I did think that they were going to cut me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that was going to happen, but that's what happened. That's a result of my own actions. And so now we're on to the next thing. I've been quiet. There's been a lot of things I could have said over this whole time. I haven't been making posts or anything besides collaborating with Dirty Boxing and other pages on different. And one of the things I'm most excited about this opportunity is it gives me a chance to let my actions do the talking. Show my remorse, show that I'm better with my actions. One of my favorite things one of my coaches used to say was, "I hear better with my eyes." And so I'm just really looking forward to going out there, making weight, whoop and just, I don't got to say it, y'all can see it. So that's what I'm most looking forward to out of all of this. Whether Battle winds up back in the octagon in the future, only time will tell. Chael Sonnen accepts fight with Craig Jones. On the heels of Gable Stevenson's withdrawal from his CJI2 grappling match with Craig Jones this weekend, it sounds like the one and only Chael Sonnen may be stepping in to save the day. During a recent video for his YouTube channel, Sonnen revealed that after Stevenson's withdrawal, Craig Jones called him, and the two spitballed some potential short-notice opponents. I get a call from Craig Jones. Craig says, "Hey, what will you do? I know you've been in this spot before promoting shows, time's running out. My first thought is Mark Kerr. He's got Smashing Machine coming out. It would be great promotion, perhaps. We dust that idea. The really great idea would be to get Wyatt Hendricks. I've never heard Wyatt's played with this stuff. I've never heard Wyatt say he wants to do this stuff. But if you're workshopping ideas, you've got to start with Wyatt. I then say for a great poster, say, hey, stupid, I know you can use some money for bail. How about you try this on a conscious opponent and you book Raja Jackson? That's the caption. Nothing else said. Put it out. It'll work. So Craig thanks me." Sonnen then got a call offering him the short notice grappling match against Jones, giving him a chance to avenge his 2017 loss to Jones at ADCC.
If you would consider stepping in and fighting Craig Jones.
Yeah, of course. I destroyed John Jones. I'm the linear champion. I'm the one that ripped his toe off and threw it in the second row, in case you don't remember. It took Craig Jones. Not only do I accept, but I'm pissed off about it. I just won the Abu Dhabi super fight. A opening comes up in the absolute, and I get a good draw. I get this 21-year-old kid from Australia. Wears these long, colorful tights. His name is Craig Jones. You can get lost in positions, and I've had fantasies if I could go back. I could do better. I could isolate. I could shut this down, and I've even thought when Gable drew the match, hey, if Gable knows to do these things that I learned in my brief experience, he can really elongate the match. And all of a sudden my phone rings and it says, will you take on Craig Jones?
While nothing is finalized yet, it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Updates on the Raja Jackson versus Syko Stu situation. While no charges have been filed, more details have emerged regarding the Raja Jackson-Syko Stu situation. In the wake of the attack, Doug Malo, the wrestler who jumped into the ring to stop Jackson, opened up on the situation on the Scaling Up podcast, recalling how Raja punched him for trying to break things up. I think he would have him. I promise you, he would have them. I'm telling you to calm down. I'm not even fighting. I'm not even being hostile. Then you're trying to work and get low or do this, change positions, and I'm over here having to swim with you, all this other. Then you punch me in the eye after we're breaking it up, you loser. That's why you got headbutt, and that's why I punched you. You're lucky I was tired from the match before this. What kind of person are you? You low-life clown. You want clout, so you beat up a guy that's half unconscious? You punch a guy that's trying to break up a fight, not even trying to fight you? I wasn't even trying to hurt you. What is wrong with you? Additionally, the wrestlers of Knox are being told not to cooperate with authorities.
But the most disgusting thing is that people at this school are being encouraged to not cooperate with the police. From what I hear, the police were there investigating the scene shortly after Stu was removed, and there has been multiple requests that have gone downstream from upper management to not talk with the police directly if they are contacted, and to only let a certain group of individuals interact with the police. That is extremely dishonest. You guys let your friend almost and now you're trying to have people lie for you.
In leaked messages, Kevin, an individual named Kevin Thomas, was seen saying, "Please refrain from engaging in comment sections on social media posts about this tragedy. It'll be weaponized in potential criminal and civil cases. Fly low." He then added, "If law enforcement or any attorney for the suspect contacts you in any capacity, let someone here know right away for guidance on how to address them." While the wrestling community is against Raja, WWE legend Mark Henry disagreed during an interview with TMZ, saying that he doesn't know the full story, but based on what he saw, Syko Stu, quote, bit off more than he could chew. "I do know what I saw, and it looked like he wasn't smart to what was going on, and the dude that was messing with him bit off more than he can chew. You've got to be careful. 1. Who you're messing with, and 2. What kind of example you're setting as a veteran by inciting a riot with a kid." MMA vet Matt Brown also weighed in with an interesting take. "If this was anybody other than Rampage Jackson's son, I don't think there'd be any empathy here at all, but we all love Rampage. He's the man. The fact that he's his son, we're all sitting here like, what do we think about this? If it was just anybody else in the world, it would be like, throw that in the cage and throw away the key, and that's probably what's going to happen to him." As Syko Stu continues to recover, fans have raised over $100,000 for the US Army vet, with YouTuber Mr. Beast donating $10,000. Late last night, Rampage Jackson went live and addressed the Raja situation, saying he would like to shake Syko Stu's hand and hopes that he can forgive him as a father. Here's what Rampage had to say.
You know, it's hard for me to talk about it, but you know, I'm just keeping 100. You know, I feel bad about what happened to Syko Stu. I don't condone what my son did at all. Very, very unfortunate. If I was there, things went down, but you know what I'm saying, I wasn't there. I'm a father, so you know, I gotta have my son's back, but I'm gonna let justice, you know, play out, take its course. Ain't much I can do on that side, but be a father. Y'all know I can't talk about that. I can't talk about any details and stuff like that. I can't really go into nothing. I hope y'all can respect that. It put me in like a bad mood, you know what I'm saying? I feel bad about Syko Stu and his family. His family had to see that shit, you know what I'm saying? And I just wish I could have been there, but I couldn't. It's wild. Now, all over the internet, so, you know, I see a lot of people editing stupid clickbaits and stuff like that, and to make money and shit. That, you know, that's not fair. A lot of people showing their true colors and stuff, but you know, all this can't stop none of this. But you know, I'm not, you know, taking up for my son or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what any father would do. Is being a father in hard moments like this. Sometimes you're proud of your kids, and sometimes you're not proud of your kids. But at the end of the day, you're still a father. Hopefully one day I can meet Syko Stu and shake his hand and have a man-to-man with him and stuff like that. But who knows? I'm just gonna try to like get back to being myself. I don't got the right words to say, and I know whatever I say, the haters are gonna try to twist my words and say whatever they want to say. But you know, I wasn't there. I was learning what went on at the same rate as everybody else. Then I got down to the bottom of it, and I learned there's a lot of misinformation out there. So guys, don't believe every edit and stuff that you see. Y'all need to know that I don't condone Raja's conduct, and I hope Syko Stu can forgive me, myself, as a dad. because for not understanding everything, you know what I'm saying? And let's see what happens from here. I'm not talking about that no more. I'm not talking about no more. I'm done with that. I'm moving on.
Rampage then fired back at the MMA guru, calling him a for his comments calling Raja a dumb animal and that he should be locked up in a cage. Here's what Rampage had to say.
It's a lot of like ignorant people on the internet. I understand that. You know, it is what it is. Don't affect me, don't bother me, but people like MMA Guru, you know what I'm saying, that guy is supposed to be some kind of journalist, and his came out. His on. You know what I'm saying? That's it's 2025, like, you know what I'm saying? People do this where some people up. Some people do it shouldn't get turned into race. Nobody wants to hear a bunch of about their son, no matter what race they are. He must don't have kids himself.
What did he say?
I don't want to repeat what he said, but he said a whole bunch of. He said like he showed his basically what he did. Like, I'm from the South. The stuff he said, I only to say. A lot of people came forward and said stuff and DM me. It don't bother me because I don't care people. But MMA Guru, he has a platform.
Yeah.
And he should stay neutral because he's giving his opinions on fights and stuff like that. So now people gonna be watching him when black fighters fight and just say.
Yikes.
The MMA guru fired back at Rampage, writing on Twitter saying, I called an attempted murderer a dumb animal. Rampage calls me for it. It's 2025. Yes, it's 2025. Focus on the attempted murderer of a son you've got, you failure of a dad, and not what names I call him. Your own victim mindset is probably what made your son bullyable by teenagers. He then followed up by writing, your own son is going through a situation where he might get jailed for decades and you're bowling with talking about it on stream. Failure of a father. Do you agree with MMA Guru, or are you siding with Rampage and think that Guru's comments went too far? Let us know your thoughts. We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.